Today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man!
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
So, Theo out again, Mike Rizzo here. We obviously going to be talking about the Knicks. We're going to be talking about the Nuggets. But hold up. Wait. Whoa.
What are you doing? I am not out. I am back. The Romper Room is not in town. Your boy is back. Mike, I appreciate you and Colin holding down the fort, but y'all know what time it is, baby. And the Wolves ain't dead yet.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. Buongiorno. Your boy is back. Theo Dorsey, Big Teddy back in the house. I ain't got a haircut in like 2.5 weeks because I didn't trust those European barbers. I do have a new, refreshed look on life. Got myself a new Tuscan leather, authentic, 100% Tuscan leather bag. I can't wait to come and showcase that thing. But more importantly, I feel renewed, fresh off of the honeymoon trip / wedding trip for my godbrother Sean in Paris, who were married in Paris, unironically. It was a great voyage. It was a great time. But I am so thankful and grateful to be back with you all today. C-Cats on the other side of the glass, on the ones and twos. Did you miss me, brother?
I missed you more than life itself.
Oh, my gosh. Man.
Gotta be honest.
Yeah. A lot of I tuned in a few times here to Theoretically Speaking. Love my guy Mike and Colin. A lot of bickering. Those dudes 110 miles an hour, 24/7, which I absolutely love. But boy, like you had to be, you had to stay on it, man.
Yeah,
keep up with the energy.
I think every opinion that was spoken into the mic that you left vacated, that was then filled in by one of Colin Russo or Mike Rizzo, was anti-Theo opinions. Everything was stuff that you never would have said or never would have believed. I almost had to wear your cape and then fight for your show's rights.
I appreciate our show. Our show's right, and I appreciate
your
that.
opinions on our show.
My opinions mostly on our show, and usually you're the one to keep me in check on those things. So much appreciated. For those that did not know, or maybe you're just tuning in for the first time today, fresh off a big voyage, man. My first time across the pond. My first time kicking it in Europe. Went Paris for 5 days, starting off with a nice, beautiful wedding on the boat, on the bay. That was nice. Eiffel Tower in the background, no big deal. Then from Paris, we hit Firenze, which we call here Florence, Italy. Had to kick it in the Tuscany region. I was up on my wines. I'm all about the Chianti Classico. The Chianti Classico, I can drink like 3 bottles of them things and be set, like one night. One thing about it was weird. All of the wines I was having and even the foods themselves, it just felt different. Everything felt like it was so much more natural, so much healthier. When I got drunk off the wine, it didn't feel like that real droggy and you wake up with a headache drunk. Everything was just so refreshing over there. And then after Tuscany, after we kicked it out there and explored the mountains of that region of Italy, we capped it off with a little Milano.
Did you spend a lot of money at the designer stores?
Gosh. No. Some, but not a lot. And there were requests made for us to get, especially on my wife's side, her little sister, gave us some tasks to buy her some bags and whatnot from a couple of the designer stores. Well, what do you think? I'm not made of money, right?
That's interesting because when you make those requests, is it understood, written between the lines that I'm going to pay for it, but you're going to be there to pick it up for me?
I think so, but she didn't give us any money. So
you do up front? I thought that'd be an after the fact thing.
I
commissioned you to pick me up some mozzarella. I was going to give you cash until you showed me the cheese.
Yeah, see the cheese for the cheese,
of course.
Like that. So no, and I wouldn't have charged you for that. That would have been nice. I mean, it's on the house. When you ask for mozzarella, a ball of mozzarella, we can do that for the free ski. A bag from Chanel in Milan, I would have had to definitely. I probably would have charged with a little bit of tax, throw a little tariff on top of that thing. I had to bring it across.
That's true, but that's suitcase space. That comes at a premium.
Bruh, I will say, of all the things I was warned about before we took our first voyage over the pond of Europe, people are not kidding when they say do not pack a check bag. Thank God we did not pack check bags. We packed the little small rolly ones that you can kind of throw up on top of the, in the overhead hang in the airport. I will say, even those, it was tough to get around when you're going from train to plane to trying to get in and out of cars, the cobblestone roads and whatnot. So they weren't lying about that. I did more walking than I could have ever imagined when we were in Florence, Firenze, Italia. It was like I didn't hop in one car. 5 days in Florence, not one car.
Did you try anything new food-wise?
Yeah. I would say we had this delicate octopus dish when we were in Milan, actually.
They don't disguise it.
Yeah.
Now, you're eating octopus.
Yeah. And honestly, it was good. It was really good. It was cooked very well. The first time I ever had octopus was actually in Japan in sushi form. And it was this raw octopus. And I swore that day, it was about a decade ago, I swore that day I would never do octopus again because it felt like I was eating a tongue. Like, I don't want to eat something that feel like it's kind of like it's licking me back.
It's got muscle spasms in there.
Yeah. And it had the little suction cup still kind of on it. It was kind of like, I don't want to. So I swore it off, but the way that they prepared it in Milan was much, much better for my appetite and also for the sensories in my mouth. So pause it. But I will say it was a great time. And I've never eaten so well, drank so well, and took more steps per day, per capita in my life. So the past 2 weeks have been a joy. What about here at ESPN West Palm here in Palm Beach County? I know it got way hotter since I last left, but the takes a little hot. They probably beat the heat that we've been getting out here weather-wise, huh?
Yeah, we took a surprise show, the Steve and Craig show.
Oh, I
was
missed
on
the
Friday.
Steve and Craig show.
You missed the live reunion of Steve Politziner and Craig Karmazin, of course, had hot shows at Good Karma Brands. They took over the airwaves from 11 to 1 p.m.
How much laughing did you do? How much just because you are the biggest, our CEO of Good Karma Brands here, which is our parent company at ESPN West Palm, is ran by a man by the name of Craig Karmazin, who was also, one half of the Steve and Craig show. Y'all know Uncle Steve Politziner. You don't laugh as much at Steve's jokes, mainly because you're probably desensitized to being around him enough, being here in West Palm. But for Craig, he's like Steve Urkel to you, or not Urkel. He's like Russell Pryor,
like Don Rickles. Like, he has me cutting up, dude. I was doing so much laughing. A little bit less this time because it was a surprise show. And only a couple of people were in on the surprise. And we had a big meeting beforehand. The show was going to take place. So I'm sitting there tapping my foot, looking at the clock, afraid of getting out on time, afraid of getting the show on the airwaves on time. So it was a little bit too tense for me to laugh as much as I normally do to my big boss's jokes.
Right, because you absolutely love that. That's one thing I learned about you. The first time I saw you in the same room with the CEO, Craig Karmazin here, who does fancy himself as a funny guy. I don't want to take that away from him. If you asked Craig, anonymous or not, whether or not he is like actually humorous, he probably would say like 9 out of 10. He would probably give himself a very weighted judgment there.
See, some people have different tastes in humor. Some people like the slapstick comedy.
Yeah.
Some people like dark humor.
How would you define Craig's humor, though? Because
some
it's
people
your favorite.
like humor that their boss shares. Like some people like their boss's humor. Is that a crime?
He's over here giving us like numbers from the first quarter, and you're like, "Oh, Craig, that's so good. Is this so? Keep them coming, Craig." So I'm glad. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Yeah. I'm rusty, man. A little jet lag. So yeah, I just touched down yesterday. Glad to be back. And I will say one of the toughest parts about the European excursion I did have was not living through the sports moments that happened live as much. Like, it sucks to go to sleep and there were some nights for these playoff games in the NBA, especially because this is one of my favorite times of the year. I'm huge on the NBA, even bigger when it comes to the postseason. It sucks some of those nights where it's like I want to live in the moment. I want to thrive. I want to be able to get enough rest so I can get up early and take our Chianti tour of the Tuscany region and be there on time. Maybe when we went to go check out the Louvre Museum and I had to meet our tour guide at like 8 a.m. crisp. I'm like, damn, I can't watch Pacers v Knicks tonight. I got to make sure I get some rest. It did suck not being able to watch some of these games live. It did suck not being able to react to the Brock Purdy news with you all. What was probably the apex of the past 2 weeks? I mean, Brock Purdy getting the not so substantial contract. You got some of these NBA – like Halliburton has had some moments here that is making me rethink where he stands in the National Basketball Association right now. I'm not overreacting, but he's had himself some moments, and then the Thunder have looked just absolutely treacherous. To you, of these 2 weeks I've been missing out, kicking it, did I miss anything?
The Tyrese Halliburton premature choke celebration.
Yeah. Oh,
and that comeback in general, that was the moment in time. That's a playoff game, especially for one that wasn't in the finals, but in the conference finals. That's a NBA playoff game you don't forget.
You had to assume the Pacers were going to lose that one when he did the premature celebration, and it was a 2, right? You were like, they're going to lose in overtime. He's going to look like an idiot now.
And you know what? They were turning the ball over. I know we're doing like revisionist history, like going back a couple of weeks. But in the turning the ball over in overtime, it looked like for a second it was that. But the on-the-couch verbal reaction in terms of basketball games, that was up there for me.
Yeah.
Whoa! I was freaking out when I saw the ball bounce off the back of the room and eventually drop through the net.
It just sucks because, like, it's so hard to – when you wake up, it's so hard to go right to the highlights without stumbling upon the final score. That was the toughest part of all of my trip.
You were trying to recreate and expedite a game viewing experience with no spoilers? That's pretty brave of you.
It's impossible. But, again, when you go to sleep knowing there is an impactful, important game and you wake up knowing the game has already happened – and you want to watch it back and you want to actually live through some of those moments, even if it's in highlight fashion, which is never as good as watching it in real time, it becomes a little difficult to avoid the spoilers. I would shut down all my notifications. I would try to barely look through the blink of my eyes. I'll go to a YouTube channel, like some kind of discrete YouTube channel that clips it up to 10 to 11 minutes, and I would hit play on it and try and skip where they put the score and just go. But inevitably, there's always something that happens. One night, I believe it was Game 3 of the Thunder versus the Timberwolves. The next morning, I wake up, and this is the one where the Wolves just absolutely wrecked the Thunder.
Yeah, it gave a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, so I didn't know what it was. I was trying to watch the highlights back, and literally 2 minutes into the YouTube highlight thing, I got a notification that came down.
4 stats as why this was the biggest butt beating you've ever seen.
I was like, great.
Okay.
All right.
At least it saved you time. There was no need to watch, especially when you see a team like the Thunder knowingly take their foot off the pedal in the middle of a playoff series. It saved me the suspense.
It was fun. It was fun watching that. Last night wasn't so much fun. So I got back last night, was able to watch Game 4 of Thunder v. Wolves. And as we all know here, I am a huge Ant-Man fan. I like the Wolves. I believe in what he can be. I believe in what that team, even as currently constructed, can be. I love them a lot better than I did last year. The current iteration of these Timberwolves, if you had this unit against last year's Mavericks, I think we're talking about a team that pushed the Celtics to 6 or 7 games at least in the NBA Finals. I think Randall and DiVincenzo is an upgrade from Karl Anthony Towns. Obviously, Terrence Shannon, who has now showed his head more in these playoffs in the last couple of games against the Thunder, is the kind of dog that is going to help in a league right now where it's impossible to work through margins with the new structure of the CBA. It's impossible to try and reinvent yourself the more that you are locked in on big stars under big contracts. Talent like Rob Dillingham, who we haven't seen at all, and also Terrence Shannon, rookie out of Illinois, who has showed up big for the T-Wolves over the past couple of games. They're going to be the kind of guys that can help get the Thunder over the edge here. But the question at this point is, after what we saw last night, 128-126, the Thunder get the win. It came down to the end. Finally a close game in these Western Conference Finals, but too little, too late. It is 3-1 Oklahoma City. And I turn on the TV this morning, and on Get Up and on First Take and every damn show I can see, everybody's asking the question: are the Oklahoma City Thunder a dynasty in the making? Are the Oklahoma City Thunder, led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, MVP of the league, his second guy, Jalen Williams, had 34 points. A lot of them were open jumpers, but he made them, so you have to give him credit for that. And then Chet Holmgren looking like the second coming of Hakeem Olajuwon defensively with his rim protection, his ability to move his feet and make up ground. And then he also just hits those open shots as well. You have to guard him. Is this a burgeoning dynasty in Oklahoma City? And I must say, C-Cat, can we pump the damn brakes?
Yeah, how have we not learned our lessons just as sports fans the
Yeah.
past 5 years when trying to call our shots in terms of dynasties before they've ever happened?
You can't do it. You can't do it. Here's what I'll say, though. We can have that conversation, maybe. We can ask the question when the finals are over. Or at least for me, I would say the Western Conference Finals feel more like the NBA Finals to me. The best two teams left in the league right now are the Timberwolves and the Thunder. The winner of this series, which based off of how last night ended and how exhausted and how just absolutely, I would say, disrupted the T-Wolves seemed, it feels close to being over based off what happened last night. I don't think you can call the Thunder a dynasty until they at the very least get out of these Western Conference Finals. This is the NBA Finals. The winner of this series will be crowned champions. I don't think we can all the way shut the door on the Minnesota Timberwolves, though, C-Cat. It's not time for that yet. It's close.
So if
3-1 is a damn near insurmountable lead to get back on against a team like that. I wouldn't shut the door.
Who has the second best chance to win the NBA Finals right now?
The T-Wolves.
That's insane.
It's true. The Timberwolves the Pacers aren't beating that OKC team. The Thunder do what the Pacers do, but with better talent. The Thunder, and again, the offense is a lot different because they will just play through Shea on a lot more possessions than the Pacers would end up playing through Halliburton. But the switchability of the Thunder, they have bigger, faster, more athletic guys at each of the positions that the Thunder thrive at. Like, imagine Pascal Siakam trying some of the things that he gets away with against the Knicks, against Lou Dort. You know what I'm saying? Like, against Jalen Williams. A lot more girth to deal with right there, and also so many more guys that you can call to from the bench that you can go to if you're Coach Dagnall that can just say, all right, sir. I mean, Isaiah Joe, get out there and hustle and compete at the highest level. It feels like the Thunder, with how deep they are, how athletic they are, how strong they are defensively, nobody in the East strikes any bit of fear into their hearts. The Timberwolves do have just enough dogs if their shots are falling, CK. And that's going to be the key. I mean, again, I sound ridiculous. But they showed us last night and in Game 3, they have the formula to be able to beat the Thunder. The problem is the Thunder are demonstratively the best defensive team I feel like I've seen in the past 10 or 15 years. They just are so hard to find a weakness, a crack in that team. Like, their worst defender might be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's a good defender and an MVP.
I think you're underrating how hard it is to come back from behind 3-1 in the series.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, C-Cat. What would have to happen for one of those Eastern Conference teams to win a championship, though?
Take care of home court and then steal a game when they shouldn't.
They won't. They just won't. You're not going to find an advantage.
When have we found the Indiana Pacers steal road games when they shouldn't? In both upset series wins they might have.
Here's the issue. The Pacers, who are really good at hunting mismatches, really good at moving the ball around and finding a window to attack. There are no windows against the Thunder. There's no Brunson or Cat to say, okay, well, they need to. You know how the whole argument now is we got Pacers-Knicks tonight. The whole argument around that series is, do they need to find a way to maybe play Brunson and Cat at different times and split their playing time, a little on, a little off, like play your offense through. You can't even – that won't even matter against the damn Thunder. And then for the Pacers, number one, we got to see what's up with Buddy's ankle. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's not – like, they might even get past the Knicks if Nembhard's not able to stay there and be as athletically inclined as he is to move laterally and guard Brunson, because Brunson can wear on you as well. I have zero faith that any of these teams out of the East can win the finals. I have all of the faith in the Thunder. I do think that the door is not shut on the T-Wolves. Just play with me right here on this right quick. I'll give you the last two elimination games we saw from this Timberwolves team. Now, the last one we actually saw was actually a little bit embarrassing. Game 5, Western Conference Finals. That's what's next for Thunder T-Wolves, right? T-Wolves down 3-1. We saw this before because last year they were down 3-1. They had Game 5 actually at home against the Dallas Mavericks. 124-103. It was clear that Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves had ran out of gas. Karl Anthony Towns was decent, but it was a little too late. He had a horrible series against the Mavericks. That was the game that Luka had 20 points in the first quarter. The Mavericks led by 29 at the half, as many as 36 points in the third quarter, and that game was pretty much over before it started. I'm curious. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Brandon, in the chat. I said Nembhard. It was Neesmith. It's Aaron Neesmith who actually has the injury that's been guarding Brunson. I'm sorry. I'm not jet lagged. I'm not blaming it on that. It's more so just because, damn it, I've been watching all these games back on YouTube. I've been watching them. I haven't been able to watch them live. I've been watching them back on YouTube. So, yes, it's Neesmith that is dealing with the injury. We'll give you an update later on the show. If he is going to be playing tonight, he will be hobbled even if he does play. Back to the game, though. So that Game 5 against the Mavericks, it was over before it started. The Timberwolves seemed like they were ready for vacation, and Anthony Edwards himself, on one of his YouTube shorts and things that he put out, he's been putting out a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff this year. He admitted he had ran out of gas before that series even started. After they finished that Game 7 against Denver and started against the Mavericks, he had nothing left in the tank, and it showed. The elimination game before that, when the T-Wolves were up against the ropes, though, was a Game 6 against the Denver Nuggets. And that one was also at home. And that was the one where the T-Wolves won 115-70, was the largest deficit that a team had faced in the playoffs since 2015. The Heat just beat that, by the way. But on the wrong side of that. But that Game 6, where everybody had written off the T-Wolves because they felt like the Nuggets had finally gotten ahead. They were up 3-2 in the series. Everybody thought Minnesota was out of it because of the way in which they lost Game 5. Minnesota, with their back against the wall, is a totally different team when they're that locked in, that focused, and they know it's either my way or the highway, as long as they have the energy, as long as they have the legs. People are looking at Anthony Edwards' box score, his stat line from last night, and they're assuming that he's run out of gas. They're assuming he's exhausted. I will admit it seems like Ant is frustrated. I think he has enough to walk into Oklahoma City in Game 5 and to lead Minnesota to a win. It might not look how we want it to look. The Thunder are doing everything in their own right to shut him off from having the ball, from driving the rock. They're closing out on him tight. Their whole defense is focused on stopping Ant. Ant-Man did not have a bad offensive game. Don't let the box score tell you or lead you away from the truth. He actually had a really, really, really good offensive game. I think he could have been better with the hustle stats. I think he could have been better defensively. He could have been better with picking up loose balls. There were a few times I saw a rebound, a ball just land on the ground, and he was looking at it hoping somebody else would grab it. If you ain't going to be scoring, you need to be doing all the other little things to help your team win. And I think when they hit the film room, he will realize that, and he's going to come out swinging hard in Game 5. The real question is, when you have a game, if you're the Timberwolves, and you have a game in which you get 22 points from Jaden McDaniels, 9 for 15 from the floor, 3 for 6 from deep, you get 21 points off the bench from Dante DiVincenzo, 5 for 8 from behind the arc. The dude was standing wide open. He could have wiped his tail, tied his shoes, and then shot some of those three-pointers in the corner that he had. They were layups for Dante DiVincenzo, who was great off the bench. When your role players step up like that and knock down shots, you have to find a way to win those games. But the reason why the role players were able to elevate their game in that way was because of Anthony Edwards and because of the defensive attention that the Thunder were showing him. He had a bad offensive output when it came to scoring, but the guys around him stepped up. They're going to have to do that on the road to extend this series. I do think the Timberwolves can go in and win Game 5 in Oklahoma City. I think if they bring it back to Minnesota, they can also win Game 6. It'll be a close one. It's not going to be easy. They're not steamrolling them like they did in Game 3. What I don't believe is that they have enough in the tank to go 7 games with a team that deep, that fouls and is that chippy that often, and also that can get hot in a flash. They got a lot of great shot makers. They got a lot of great defenders, and they got 10 dudes who could start on many other teams in the league. It's going to be an uphill climb, but the Timberwolves have what it takes to be able to beat the Thunder. One game at a time. We'll see. Do you take away something different than that, CK?
I think that we need to begin absorbing what's on TV every other night that the Indiana Pacers are doing.
Oh, my gosh.
And that is creating magic, winning when they shouldn't.
I'm out on that.
And if anything says David and Goliath, like Pacers versus Thunder in a possible NBA Finals, if both those teams do take care of business, the favorites in their respective series, I think it's this time. I think that we have seen bigger upsets. We have seen more teams that are more overmatched. And I think the Pacers can definitely get it done more so. Much better chance than the Timberwolves.
You just bring up David and Goliath. I am one who just literally got back from seeing Michelangelo's work.
Yeah.
I was just kicking it with the statue of David. Yeah.
That's the David and David versus Goliath?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I just got back from Florence.
I mean, all right.
I was kicking it with the brother.
There's a lot of Johns out there. There's a lot of
that's
Tims.
David.
They could share
David.
names.
Yes, that's David. I'm sorry.
I don't think you're right. I really don't think you're right. I think there's multiple Davids out there.
I know there's multiple Davids, but I'm telling you I'm right as a guy that just was at the museum,
Seeing
the
Academia.
Statue.
Seeing the statue does not qualify you to be an expert in the field.
I think it does.
You cannot testify as an expert on the situation.
Here's the issue in America right now and probably in the globe. Like, for some reason, we have found a way to stray from the facts. We have right here on Theoretically Speaking, we're watching it happen live, a man in CCAT who has never been to Florence, Italy, nor has he seen the statue of David, the work of the great Michelangelo, nor he's trying to refute the facts of a brother that was just there 2 days ago.
Got breaking news. Yes, that is the same
He has
David.
a freaking slingshot in his hand, CCAT.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that part.
This is what's wrong, but why would you not believe me?
That felt a little too convenient for me bringing up David and Goliath. I don't know. I thought you could get away with it if you were fibbing.
There's a reason why he has statues built of him. The dude is he's a really big deal in history. So, yeah, it's not convenient.
I don't know, it might be a fictional character. Is Goliath like a real human? I thought it was a fictional story.
Even if it's a fictional story, they build statues of fictional characters all the time in history.
I guess so. But I thought
there's also statues of Athena.
I don't know. I thought maybe the David that there's a statue of David was just a pretty
David
cool
is a
dude.
real dude. He's a real guy.
I thought it was a different David. Not the David versus Goliath David. I thought this was David who, I don't know, ran a pawn shop in his local town and everyone kind of hung out with him on the weekends. And thought, this is a cool David. Let's make a statue of this David. Everyone should be like this David.
I was excited to come back from my tour d'Italia, my tour of Europe. Kicking. I was excited to come back. And then here you go, CCAT.
Turns out David was just a shepherd boy.
This is your first time learning about David?
We shouldn't be doing statues of this guy. He's a one-hit wonder. He beat Goliath once. Let's see.
He did much. Do you not know who David is?
I guess.
All right, in the break, you're going to have to look up more information on David. But I want to ask the good people of Theoretically Speaking, the fans already here in the chat cooking it up, what they think about what they saw last night. 128-126, the Thunder take a commanding 3-1 lead. They go back home for Game 5. Did Oklahoma City end the NBA playoffs last night? Did the Thunder put a nail in the coffin of what this postseason, what this season will be? Are they already being crowned the champions based on what they did last night, or is the door still open for another team? I believe if the door is still open for anybody else, it is the Minnesota Timberwolves and only the Timberwolves. CCAT seems to think the Pacers have the magic for it. You let us know on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. Pull up on us. Let us know. Join the show.
And if you know a little more about David, too.
Yeah,
sprinkle that
please.
in.
Please, yeah. If you know more about David than the guy that was just kicking it with him,
being
the
there
moron,
does not mean that you know a lot about David. It means that you just so happen
you don't
to
think
be
there's
with the statue.
information on David at the dang museum, the Academia?
Sure. Did you take notes?
No, but I was just there like a week ago.
There are probably 700 people
I have
that
a
know
picture
more
with
about
him.
David.
I have a picture with the guy.
That doesn't mean anything.
888-76.
You got his phone number? You got your contact list?
No. There weren't phones back then, 1400 BC. Damn it.
Yeah, I actually had a hamburger for dinner, so I am an expert on the subject.
Well, I wouldn't refute it if you told me some fun facts about hamburgers, and all I said was that it was the same David. And you
just saying that it's not a no-brainer that you would know that, not me.
At the very least, a person who just visited the place in which the statue of David is, at the very least, I should know who that statue is. I should know who that David is, right? Hey, come on, it's not like I told you some weird stat about it. I said, yeah, David from David and Goliath. I just saw a statue, and you're like, there's no way it's the same David.
Listen, we chop it up here on these airwaves many a times, and it's a lot of historical information. I thought that was one of those instances.
There. I was right there. There was a little plaque. There's information in these museums, too. It's not just random statues hanging around.
Did you put the earpiece on?
Yes.
The tour was telling you? Yeah.
We had a tour guide as well. Thank you. Paid a little extra money for that. Shout out Viator, whatever it is, they be charging. 888-760-3776. The real question is not about David, but you could chime in with some David facts. You can teach CCAT a little something. Not me. I just came back from kicking it with the fella.
Oh, so you know all there is to need to know.
I'm fully, the book is
You've
done.
got your fill.
I'm good. I'm good on David facts, but CCAT needs some. But more so, are the NBA playoffs done? Did the Thunder seal the deal last night? 888-760-3776, the Baptist Health Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. 888-760-3776. That's the number. Are the Thunder already the 25 NBA champions? Or is the door still open for the Knicks, the Pacers, or the team I think has it, and that's the team that resides out of Minneapolis? What'd you say, C-Cat?
We've got a great perspective.
Oh, on David or on the finals?
On the finals.
Okay.
On the perspective finals. We've got Crystal from Palm Beach. Crystal, thank you so much for joining us on Theoretically Speaking. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, I just want to say I'm all in on Shea Gilchrist and Oklahoma City. I think I'm going to give them the props for the year.
Is it over? They got it.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to him. The Ant-Man don't want to be a star. He don't want that smoke.
Wow, Crystal, I appreciate the call. I'm a little disheartened by the Ant-Man hate that goes along with it. But you know what Crystal sounds like, C-Cat?
Who?
She sounds like every Anthony Edwards fan today who is not mad. We're all just a little disappointed. We all wish you just took the horns a little stronger. Maybe you pull out that slingshot like David did and you get after Goliath. This is not a criticism of you, the man. This is us as fans of Anthony Edwards yearning for more. Get it done. Game 5 in Oklahoma City. Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This
Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium is America's busiest ballpark with Florida State League baseball games 6 days a week, Tuesday through Sunday, including the 2-for-1 Tuesday ticket deal, Silver Slugger Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, Friday Family 4-Pack, Kids Club Saturdays, and $10 tickets every Sunday. Enjoy all the fun promotions while seeing the future stars of baseball take the field. For tickets, schedules, promotions, and more information, stop by the ticket office or visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com.
It's the perfect day. You're just driving along, listening to your favorite music, the windows down. There's a cool breeze. Life is good. But wait, hold on a second. You're not wearing a seatbelt? You'd better put that on before that... Uh-oh, too late. Cops everywhere are stepping up enforcement, so you'd better buckle up or you will get caught. Sorry to ruin your day. Click it or ticket.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation. The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith Ball, Baez & Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball, Baez & Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball, Baez & Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
May is National Burger Month, so grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's Sports Grill for a big Burger Blitz celebration. Enjoy Duffy's award-winning half-pound certified Angus beef original cheeseburger and french fries, starting at just $8.99 with the purchase of any beverage. Plus, don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks, all day, every day. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more, and remember, at Duffy's, our game is always on.
Who will be crowned the newest champions of Europe? It's a huge final soccer match on this pitch. Turn your predictions into a payday on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal sportsbook. Get up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. So you get 2 shots at scoring that golazo in the biggest game of the year. Download the Hard Rock Bet app today. Roll with us. Payable in bonus bets up to $100. Not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. The wager. Terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMIT.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Feels good to be home, baby. Feels so good to be home. Also feels great to be back chopping it up with y'all here on Theoretically Speaking. I did miss you. I am grateful for this opportunity to do so. In the chat here, Vontae said C-Cap missed me. That's why he was giving me a hard time on the statue of David there. I think he just is an idiot. So
like a middle school girl have a crush on a guy, making fun of him?
Yeah. I think you also just a little stubborn. You just assumed I was pulling something out of my tail.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes you talk out your butt.
I do. So I admit I do agree that there's sometimes that you should call me out on things. I'd rather you call me out on things than just let things ride.
No, we have a third voice in the show joining us now. I'm curious on what he thinks. If this is a common opinion that everyone knew this already,
okay,
or if it's a common misconception like I thought.
All right, let's bring him in then. We have former executive vice president of the Dolphins, former GM of the Jets, current ESPN NFL insider, and friend of Theoretically Speaking, Mike Tannenbaum, joining the show here. And Mike, I'm fresh off of a trip to Italy and Paris. I left Florence feeling rejuvenated, mainly because of the art scene and the food there. One of the many things I did in Florence was visit the Accademia Museum, I believe, Accademia Musée, and I saw Michelangelo's masterpiece of David, the statue of David. Magnificent thing. I think it's like 23 feet tall. Great sight. Mike T., are you aware of who David is? Because CCAT fought me on who I was trying to tell him David actually is in real life.
I have no idea.
Really?
So would you?
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of Davids out there.
Okay, but who's the most relevant David of all time? Who should
King David?
There we go.
So you wouldn't have thought that the David in David versus Goliath was the same David that was the statue of David, would you?
No.
Thank you.
Really?
Yes, thank you.
Really?
It was reasonable for me to fight you on that.
Okay. But is it reasonable for him, Mike T, is it reasonable for him to fight me on this when I said it because I was just at the museum and saw the statue of David literally like 3 or 4 days ago? And I'm not a subject matter expert, but at the very least, I know a little something about who the statue was. He was fighting me tooth and nail on it until he Googled it himself. So
yeah, I mean, it is germane to your trip, so I'll give you that for sure.
Thank you. And
That's a big word for Elmo.
I forget what germane actually means sometimes. Can you give us a quick definition there, Mike T, before we get into some football talk?
Relevant.
There we go. Relevant. I mean, I kind of context clues, I got it, but I didn't want to just assume, so I appreciate you. Now that the nonsense is out of the way, Mike T joining us here on Theoretically Speaking, and you got your knowledge of statues took a little bit of a hit here, but your knowledge of football never does. You said something recently on, I believe, Get Up that I am lockstep with. As we look at a lot of the moves that happened this NFL offseason through the draft, through free agency, and we look at that one trade the Cowboys made, bringing in a guy like George Pickens, who was one of the brighter prospects coming out of the draft back when the Steelers got him. Through 3 years, it's been up and down because of his personality and also because of quarterback play. But now he's going to be the number 2 to CeeDee Lamb with the best quarterback he's ever played for, and he is in a contract year. Mike T, I think he is going to have an amazing season for the Cowboys, given the situation and the fact that he's fighting for the biggest payday of his life. You used to sit in that GM chair. What are your prospects on what George Pickens can be for this Dallas Cowboys team this year?
Yeah, I totally agree. Look, he's a point scorer, and if the three of us were running a team, it'd be hard-pressed to come up with 2 corners that can match the physicality, the route running of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. I think we're going to see a real bounce-back year from Dak Prescott, and look, I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to be contenders, but I think when we're sitting here in October, November, guys, and we're like, wow, this team surprised us, I think one of the teams we'll be talking about is the Dallas Cowboys.
Is he not the best number 2 Dak has had? I mean, I know Dak's been around for a while, since 2016. There was an overlap, obviously, with Coop and CD. Didn't they have a little bit of an overlap, which I guess would change my opinion on that? But when it comes to a 1-2 punch, CD can win at any point of the field. George Pickens is 6'3", huge, physical, great at high pointing the ball, has great hands. Like, it feels like this is the best weaponry he has between the 1 and 2 that since he's became the starter there.
Yeah, I think you go back to 2021 and in his prime, CeeDee Lamb, in his prime, Amari Cooper. Dak had 37 touchdown passes, and I think we're going to look at that sort of year for Dak and the Cowboys.
That is going to influence a lot of fantasy football drafts here coming up this fall. And it definitely excites me as a person who loves it when the Cowboys are more relevant, even though good, bad, or indifferent, they're always relevant. Mike Tannenbaum joining us here on Theoretically Speaking. When you look at the teams now, as we're starting to see some of the highlights from the rookies and we're starting to see some of the guys have these little fun slow motion plays that people are getting excited about, how concerned on a level of like 1 to 10 are you with the route running of Travis Hunter that we've seen out of Jacksonville? Because I've seen some extremely hot takes on whether or not he can actually be a receiver in the league based off of just a couple of videos of camp.
Yeah, I think we got to be careful here. It's May, right? Memorial Day was yesterday, so we got a long ways to go. He's a great athlete. One thing is going to be his size more than anything, which is something we're going to have to keep an eye on. But Travis Hunter, I think, has a chance to be I don't think we should have a complete evaluation based on a couple of routes in a non-contact period.
Is there a chance there? I mean, I know that it feels like they're very forward thinking in Jacksonville. Gladstone, obviously kind of an out of the box guy. Liam Cohen, very creative. Is there a chance we're looking at a guy like Brian Thomas Jr., who just had a prolific rookie season, and Travis Hunter, and we could be looking at maybe one of the like 2 wide receiver ones, almost similar to what the Bengals have with Chase and Higgins? Like, I mean, that it feels like that's what we're gearing up to be on. But it feels, I guess here's my question for real, Mike T. I got a little convoluted there, a little jet lag off the trip. Are we looking at 2 number 1 receivers there in Jacksonville that people can look at and say, hey, these 2 guys are going to be 2 of the top 10 receivers in the league at some point?
Yeah, I think so. I think Brian Thomas is a big guy that could run. And again, we have to see Travis Hunter develop. I think Travis Hunter will be a great corner as well, but absolutely. But I think the key at the end of the day, guys, is how good is Trevor Lawrence? At some point, he's got to produce and not just be a guy with like prodigious ability. He's going to actually have to produce.
Yeah, we saw a bunch of decisions being made in the past couple of weeks between the bigwigs in the NFL, Mike, and one of which was about the Olympics coming in 2028 and flag football, whether or not the NFL will allow players under contract to play in the flag football Olympics when it's in LA. If you were currently an NFL GM, would you want your guys playing in the Summer Olympics?
Yeah, CK, I've said this before. What's really funny to me is on the record, you're going to say all the right things, like this is great for our sport and, global growth and all that. And every GM is saying to himself, I really hope my guy doesn't want to play, or or my guy, has a cold, or, is unavailable for 10 days because no one's going to want to see their players play, even though it's flag football. Obviously, there's always the risk of injury, and, that's something every team is going to be saying, at least not publicly, but certainly privately.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the common agreement behind closed doors, how did this pass through?
I think ownership sees it, as a good thing, in terms of the growth of the game. The Olympics are going to be in our country. Football is incredibly popular. So, the question is going to be is, will there be some A players like the Travis Hunters of the world who are maybe, rising juniors in college that will play? It took a couple of cycles, I should say, for, the dream team to happen. For a long time it was just amateur sports. So it'll be interesting to see what caliber of player actually winds up playing.
Yeah, and I also would say, like, maybe you're able to get a corner or a receiver to get into that thing. Ain't no way in hell any of the starting franchise quarterbacks.
You think?
I don't think. No, because
but they're not doing the pivoting and stuff.
They are. That's the issue. They actually are. And that's the difference with flag football is there's a lot more involvement from your quarterback to be engaged, running and evading.
Really?
And yeah, for sure. It's a totally different sport. Not that I'm some kind of expert. Mike T is an expert on the actual NFL football that we actually watch. One quick thing. Can we get a quick Mike Tannenbaum from you? What is the most overlooked move you've seen so far, whether it be a player drafted, a trade that has happened, or maybe just a battle that's going on positionally throughout the league? What's the most overlooked headline in the NFL right now?
Well, that's easy for me, guys. I think it's the return of Aiden Hutchinson. Playing 7 games a year ago. This is a team with true Super Bowl aspirations. If they could rush the passer, they're going to be hard to beat. So if a healthy Aiden Hutchinson to me is as consequential of a signing or returning player as anything going on in the NFL right now.
I absolutely forgot all about that, and you're absolutely right. That dude was wreaking havoc for them, and they did well even in his absence. So it'll be great to see them with a more bolstered defensive front. Thanks again, Mike T, for tapping in. Before you go, though, a couple more quick facts. The Medici family also was the family that commissioned the statue of David that was created by the master himself with masterpieces, Michelangelo. So if anybody's asking you, just check it out in Florence at the Musée d'Accademia.
Good stuff. Like to get there one day.
Yeah, see, so I'm talking about Mike T. Appreciate your time, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Okay, thanks so much, guys.
That's our guy, Mike Tannenbaum, newly educated on the statue of David that I saw out in Firenze, Italia, the biblical figure David. He was favored by a subject in the art out there in Florence. What's he getting? It's also before you go, Mike T, his appearance is always brought to us by Eisner Amper. Okay, now you can.
I love the radio cliche before you go. But instead of leaving your guests an opportunity to say something or give their pick on a game,
I'm giving him
hitting
something.
opinion on a food or something. No. Before you go, here's some knowledge for you.
Yeah.
Say thank you. That's an incredible way to finish a radio call.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I have a newfound.
We got to give more than we take with guests.
That's the
I think
thing,
that's what
too.
it comes down to.
People don't do that enough. Just drop a couple nuggets on the homie.
So if
You know what I'm
instead
saying?
of when we try to book guests and get people on the show, they end up leaving with more than what they arrived when they came, maybe we get more guests.
We would. We're filling their cup up. I mean, Mike T, people bring him on their show all the time, and all they do is just pound him with questions.
Answers. Give me answers.
Yeah. Instead, I'm going to give you a little something back, dog.
Damn, imagine the nice one of those cocktail parties here in West Palm Beach, maybe on the island with some very influential, important people. And Mike Tannenbaum makes an impact with one of those important people because he knows that fact that I already forgot that you mentioned about the family that made the
Medici
statue.
family.
The
Medici family was Medici.
Like, oh, Mike Tannenbaum. I didn't know you were that cultured.
And to be honest with you, here's the other part of it. People don't realize, too, Statue of David, they first made it. They put it out there next to the Duomo. The Duomo.
Did you know the statue
Right
of
there.
David is actually the same David as in David versus Goliath? People know them as individual entities. No, they're the same person.
Same dude, bruh. And because of the nature of the figure it represented, David, from the Bible, from David and Goliath, the statue soon came to symbolize the defense of civil liberties it embodied in the 1494 Constitution of the Republic of Florence.
Damn, that recall is good, dude. You might have paid attention during the tour.
Florence was an independent city-state threatened on all sides by more powerful rival states. So just keep that in mind.
So you've been in both these locations in the past 12 months. Which pizza is better, Italian pizza or New York pizza?
Had zero pizza slices, and that is because we were not in the place where the pizza is their nature.
So you were like in Jersey, but you can still get New York-ish pizza in Jersey than you can in Florence, Italy.
No, you would offend the Tuscans. You would offend any truly Tuscan restaurant if that was the main thing you came there for. It's not a food that is originated from the Tuscans. It's more from Pisa and I believe Sicily.
So really, they didn't just I don't know.
It's not all of Italy. No, it's kind of like going to.
There's no pizza bus that comes on by every single morning with a shipment.
There were certain pizza places. There's not a lot of pizza shops actually in Florence itself. In Milan, a lot more because it's a bigger city. But what I did realize is Buddy told me on one of these tours we went on. It was a tour we went into the Tuscany region to check out some Chianti Classico, which is a great red wine. Oh, it's a beautiful red wine. He told me, though, going to a true Tuscan restaurant and ordering a pizza is almost like, say, going to Utah and ordering seafood. It's like, sure, you can get it. It's not our thing. We might have it.
So it's not like ordering chicken fingers and French fries at a fine dining restaurant. It's not that offensive.
It's not that.
It's just out of place.
It's just that's not our thing. If we're truly a Tuscan restaurant, the things they specialize in, the certain pastas like fettuccine and also another thing, limoncello.
Yeah.
Limoncello's not Tuscan. They do grappa.
Exactly. You got to go to where the lemons are grown to get the limoncello. Where I went.
They will serve it to you because people request it so often, but it's not of the Tuscan people.
The water bottles have the caps connected to it. It's the worst, right?
Come on, dog. It's so hard. It's so hard to get those damn caps off the water bottles.
Exactly.
The hell is up with that?
That's why I like my Culligan water right here.
Culligan water, you twist that cap. You twist that cap.
Hey, Culligan man.
Top comes right off. Easy to put back on. For some reason, the apparatus that the cap is connected to, it never opens up right. Do you notice that too?
Yeah, I actually was not bringing that up for a segue into our friends at Culligan. That was actually natural, so I was very impressed with your segue.
Ah, well, I mean, that's what
Still
I do.
got
man.
it.
I still got it, man. There ain't no jet lag over here, baby. Ain't no jet lag to a G. You know what else is tough, though?
What?
Not just getting caps off of water bottles in Italy for some reason, but it's actually tough to see visually with your own eyes, to see contaminated water coming out of your faucet. One thing you can't ignore, though, is that taste. You taste some Culligan water versus water from your faucet that ain't been touched by the reverse osmosis system like what I got in my home, you will know what I'm talking about. And what about the plastics and the pharmaceuticals that are now in the water? The team at Culligan, they understand all of this. They got this for you. They got the facts, the stats. They're more experts on this than I am of the Statue of David. They do this for real. And they're going to try and help you remove those toxins from your water. Culligan offers free water testing, and, of course, like I have in my home, a reverse osmosis system. And it's all designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. So you don't got to worry about it anymore. Try it today for a new low monthly rate, by the way. Now is the time. Get your free water test today. The summer months are they here. They are here. And they ain't going nowhere for a while. So if you want some good, refreshing, and pure drinking water, Culligan.com. Culligan.com is the place to go. Plus, you can check out what other amenities they can help you with in your home. Water softeners, all kind of stuff. Or maybe you just want to order Culligan water itself. They got it all there. Culligan.com. Tap in with the good people. Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man.
Schedule your free water test today, and don't forget to say,
Hey, Culligan man.
On the other side, to get around, then we have the happy hour, the return of Tina, as I come back from my excursion. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
When you're in pain and an hour seems like a day seems like a month, there's only one place to go for your treatment. Pain Care Florida. Our pain management specialists have the knowledge and experience in state-of-the-art procedures to relieve pain and get you moving. Time waits for no one, especially when you're in pain. Visit paincareflorida.com. Pain Care Florida. Stop hurting, start living today.
As market dynamics change, the quality and service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Partner-owned since 1923, Anshin Accountants and Advisors take the time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't. Visit ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, recalculating what's possible.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Is your credit on life support? Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Local bank representatives will be on site to grant special approval to consumers who meet certain minimum criteria. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach wants to approve you so you can drive home your new Kia today. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Hello, is this thing on? I repeat, Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic wants to approve you for a new Kia today. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the credit clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
Hi, Kevin Dalton here from the Unlimited Auto Wash Clubs. Time to start getting your ride ready for summer. Stop by the Unlimited Auto Wash Clubs and try out one of our best wash packages, the Ultimate Plus. It gives you everything your car needs, inside and out, including our ceramic graphene coating. Or try one of our unlimited monthly plans, starting as low as $34.95 a month, or with inside and out plus tire shine starting as low as $49.95 a month. Visit any one of our 6 convenient locations or call 561-WASH-ME-TOO.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Trans World Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Is your air or water flowing perfectly in your home? If the answer is no, EDS is yes. Theo here, and for me, EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing is my go-to, and it should be yours too. EDS is Palm Beach County's trusted AC and plumbing expert. They'll make sure your air and water flow perfectly. EDS is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. Go to edsisyes.com. That's edsisyes.com. When comfort matters, EDS is yes.
May is National Burger Month, so grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's Sports Grill for a big Burger Blitz celebration. Enjoy Duffy's award-winning half-pound certified Angus beef original cheeseburger and french fries, starting at just $8.99 with the purchase of any beverage. Plus, don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks, all day, every day. Visit duffysmvp.com to learn more, and remember, at Duffy's, our game is always on.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo Dorsey, Colin Russo filling in. I love hosting this show, theoretically speaking, on ESPN 1063. We got Christina Costanza. It's the Tina Happy Hour. We got Christian Cat, as always. It's live from the City Place Studios. You name it. It's theoretically speaking, and you can listen on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. What's up?
Absolutely, you cannot do this.
What happened?
Did you not get the memo?
What happened?
I'm back. Colin, I'm back.
What do you mean you're back?
I'm back, and I do not need your services anymore. I do appreciate them. I do appreciate your presence in my absence, but damn it.
Goodbye,
What's up with
Colin.
these guys today? That's what I'm talking about. Thank you again for the
You
help.
guys can all turn off the radio.
Look,
Wally pipped.
Here's my thing. These guys, not enough airtime for you, Colin Russo, damn it. Mike Rizzo on the open of my show, was there not a memo? Was there not a big email blast that I'm back, guys? I know it's been 2 weeks, but damn.
We were adjusting to life without Theo, and we came to terms with it.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. It felt longer than 2 weeks.
I'm over here taking a little restroom break. In the middle, I'm knowing happy hour is next. And I hear Colin over the airwaves. C-Cat, you knew I was here. Why the hell would you let that go?
I didn't know it was happening. this was like the movie, what's it called? Captain Phillip? Captain Phillips?
He just took over.
Who's the Tom Hanks movie where the Somali pirates?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. A hostile takeover of the show, and I was powerless.
I am the captain now.
Pascal Siakam reference, right?
He did. Did he do that?
That's what his haters say, that he resembles.
Oh, okay. I can because he's of African descent. Okay, I can see.
Oh no, I was talking the teeth. That's what I was looking at.
The teeth.
The teeth.
They have similar teeth. I have to look it up. Tina.
Well, welcome back, Teddy.
Thank you.
So happy to see your face.
I mean, I'm so glad to be here.
I was living vicariously through you, though, while you were traveling, all through Instagram. It looked like an amazing trip.
Oh my gosh. I ain't gonna lie. It was the best trip of my life. It started as a trip just to Paris to watch my godbrother Sean and his now wife, fiance Paris, be married on a boat in Paris. And we extended that trip. Her name is Paris.
Wow.
Yes. So she was named Paris for good reason. Her parents created her when they were in Paris on a trip.
Okay.
Yeah. So
well, I love that full circle moment right
love
there.
Love that. They're very, and I'm not telling anything that's like that nobody knows. They said this multiple times. Like this is not me like revealing something that they wouldn't be comfortable with me revealing on the radio airwaves. I would hope. They're also not listening. But it started with that. It was great.
Yes.
Few days in Paris, about 5 days in Paris actually, then 5 days in Florence, Firenze, Italia. Beautiful time, great food, great wine, amazing scenes. Oh my God, you know how crazy, how different it feels to just every morning when you wake up, bringing in that fresh air, the breeze that comes off of the Arno River. By the way, CK, you want to know what Arno means?
Is it spelled A-R-N-O-T?
No, just A-R-N-O.
Oh.
You want to know what Arno means?
Yeah.
River.
Oh.
It's the river.
River.
I don't know what the hell's going on here. There's a lot of stuff like that over there in Italy
The river.
that I found out is named after what it actually is. So the Arno River is actually just river.
Damn.
They named it river.
I got to say,
Tuscans were not very creative.
Tina, you said you were living vicariously through Theo on his trips around Europe. I saw one picture, the first picture that I saw of that Theo or his wife, I forget who posted, and it was Theo with your mom. And I was very confused because I did not know you went to Europe for a wedding initially.
Oh.
I thought this was just a trip where it was Theo, his wife, and his mom, and I got very confused.
To be honest, what's funny is a lot of people assume that, and I got this really funny Instagram message from one of my somebody I hadn't talked to in like years, and he DM'd me because he saw pictures of me with my mom and with my little brother as well, and then obviously with my wife. He DMs me and he said, like it was like a really he was inspired. He was like, bro, this is dope as hell, dog. I love what you're doing there, bro. You got the little bro with you. You got your mom with you. You're doing it for real. Like, much love, bro. I know it's been a minute. Like, this really impassioned message. And me, because when I saw the message, I'm like out. I'm like drunk. I'm kicking it. So I'm like, oh, he just is really excited to see me and my family.
Yeah.
I respond back like, you know what it is, baby? Like, much love, dog. Like, and then the next day when I like woke up and kind of reread it, I was like, huh. He thinks I took my mom and my little brother with me on this trip with my wife to Europe.
Yeah.
This was the Theo Dorsey version of the first round draft pick buying his mom the house. This is what it was.
He thinks
like, here's a Hummer.
I love that.
He's like, man, ESPN West Palm is paying dues well.
Right?
Like,
Theo is doing good.
I got to get in on that Culligan water. I got to get in on theoretically speaking, like. And I didn't
hilarious.
I couldn't clear it up at that point, right? I just had to let it ride.
Hey, and listen, I got a little more maybe an insight on the operation here than the guy who DM'd you, and even I thought that. I was like, whoa.
I look like a bigwig. I look so big time to anybody that saw the Instagram pictures. Like, it looks like I flew my mom and my little brother and my wife out on my own dime, whereas indeed, actually, it was only me and my wife that funded our part of it.
The wedding trip. It was a destination wedding.
Destination wedding, and we just extended it. We used it as our honeymoon because we only took a mini moon after our wedding last February, Super Bowl weekend.
Rush back to talk about the NFL offseason.
Yeah. Super Bowl weekend last February. So this February we didn't do anything, and then we also were like, let's do the full honeymoon attached to this wedding. So
it's smart. You're cutting down on the travel days that you have to use and dole out.
Yeah.
When you want to make your PTO days a big, grand, abroad vacation.
You got to get more bang for your buck.
Like 3 days or just on planes.
And then also it extended into Memorial Day weekend, which really helped.
Oh, yes.
And
you always got to use your holidays that you're off at work, like smart with your PTO days or vacation days where you can make it a little bit longer.
Just attach it all together. So I apologize for my extended absence, not just to our fans and our audience, but also to you, Tina, to you, C-Cat, because you had to put up with the knuckleheads that we know and love that is more of Russo and Rizzo, which again, I enjoy from the outside looking into, and those are my guys. I was happy to see them have more room to utter some of the nonsense that they love to hear themselves say.
You got to see from afar definitively tiering NFL quarterbacks. So theoretically speaking, quarterback tier. It was solidified. Sorry, it happened. It was on YouTube. It was on the radio. The quarterback tiers have been made, and it goes Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow. And that's it on the top.
I don't think Mike Rizzo should ever be allowed to speak from 2 to 4 again after that. I forgot all about that, C-Cat. I was enjoying my trip. I think I was in Paris at the time. And that BS came out of nowhere. I think it was on the Brock Purdy extension day. What the hell was that? What the hell was that?
It's like in the movies.
He put
when someone maybe has put the days of being a spy behind them, the action-adventure days are behind them, and now they're retiring overseas and they're just enjoying their European lifestyle, and then they come across their usual coffee run, they look at the newspaper like, oh, this building has been attacked, and you snap right back into it. And Theo, you had to put your take hat on and think, I need to get back to where they need me.
I almost called in. I almost called. If it wasn't 25 cents a minute, I think I would have called in because I would have needed like 20 minutes to berate him. And
no Lamar Jackson, the top tier NFL quarterbacks.
I mean, and this isn't even like a divisional hate thing because Mike Rizzo is a Cleveland Browns fan. So I would think it would be like, oh, he's putting Lamar down because he is in Joe Burrow's in this division too.
Wait, listen, I was kind of, before the season started, you assumed that Joe Burrow would bounce back and have a playoff season and be up there again, but you can't deny what you saw in 2024.
I don't think there's 1 ounce of evidence that would put Joe Burrow above Lamar Jackson. The only thing you can say,
a single game.
Only thing you can say is that he beat Mahomes at Arrowhead that one time and made it to the Super Bowl. That was it. Lamar has outplayed him and beat him in their head-to-heads over and over and over again, so much so that Joe Burrow is now complaining and begging the schedule makers to readjust the schedule so that he has a more favorable chance to beat the Ravens. That I don't think that got enough attention. That is weak. At least do that behind closed doors. He was way too proud to poke his chest out and beg them to make a more favorable schedule so he can get some wins when you've missed the playoffs more times than you made them. So, you know. And then also Lamar, I think, has a couple of MVPs. Probably should have had a third one last year. He, of course, has had one of the most historic passing seasons we've seen from a quarterback ever last year as well. And he's doing so with, like, who are his receivers again?
We got Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
He had Odell for a year.
He did. Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown. Yeah, he did. He's been that with those guys, and Joe Burrow has had Jamar Chase and T. Higgins for most all of his career. So that's just ridiculous. So we won't give that any more airtime, but we do have to do, though, because I'm fresh off of literally, I feel like there wasn't a day in which I did not drink plenty. A lot of wine. A lot of wine, a lot of champagne. Champagne.
So no mixed cocktails?
Some.
Okay.
I did. I told y'all before I left I was going to drink no cocktails. But, of course, I get over there, and then I got this little Hugo Spritz action.
Ooh, the spritzes. That's where they get you.
So the Aperol Spritz are actually disgusting. And that's their big thing is the Aperol Spritz. It's actually...
Do you have them ever, like, here casually?
I've never had that.
Oh, okay.
My first time having an Aperol Spritz was in Italy, in Florence, Firenze.
Okay.
And it was bad. And then I said, let me try that Hugo Spritz. And I said, yeah, this is what y'all should be doing.
Hugo? What is that?
What's
Hugo's onto something. I don't know.
Hugo from Lost?
Hugo from Boss.
Okay.
Hugo Spritz. That's not going to be our cocktail of the day. We're about to get our cocktail of the day from Tina. But a Hugo Spritz, the difference is it ain't no damn Aperol in it. Aperol is bad.
It's like medicine.
Yeah, Aperol's not good. I don't know what we're doing. Tina, can we get a little cocktail of the day, please?
This is a Paris-inspired cocktail called the Sidecar. And
I love a sidecar.
Oh, did you have any?
You back on the yak.
Yes, I am on the yak.
Ooh, she back on the yak. Ooh.
Well, yeah, maybe because you know what this is, I'll do a different one. I have two.
No, I know. I mean, I know what it is, but the people should know about it. Tell them about the sidecar.
Tina, always be back on the yak.
Come on now. Can't keep her off that yak.
I think now because we had the cognac and now it's cognac, like we know how to say it now that it's just a common
Every time
drink.
she sees cognac, she's like, I'm doing
I
this
know how
one.
to say this, yeah. So this is a sidecar, a strong cocktail made with cognac, Cointreau, and lemon juice. That's it. It's super simple.
It is. Sidecars are really, really good, and they are very strong. There's a bar in Houston I used to frequent all the time. It was more of an old head bar, and I'll never forget the day I was sipping on a sidecar on the outside of this bar near Midtown Houston, and this older gentleman kind of walks up on me, and he points at this young lady who was like kind of scantily dressed, had on like a bright red, like a two-piece, lot showing. Back in my single days, by the way, so I was allowed to be out kicking it. And he like, see, young fella, I never have either my woman or my daughter out here in the streets looking like that. Kind of sounded like that. I'm like,
oh, wow.
And I'm looking at them like, huh. Like, yeah, I don't know why you're just offering this information to me randomly, but okay, I appreciate it, sir. And then we get into a little conversation back and forth about the state of the world, how we are, how men should be, how women should act. Middle of our conversation, I look brother in his eyes. I was like, yo, this is Scarface. I'm talking to Scarface.
What?
I mean, y'all might not know who Face is, but Face from the Ghetto Boys, a rapper.
Okay.
Houston legend. And the most ironic part about that interaction that he and I had was that Scarface did not know this at the time, and I did not make him aware of this. But I actually used to date Scarface's daughter back in like middle school. And here I am talking to Face for the second time in my life. 2 times I've had a conversation with Face, once in a middle school when he threatened me and made sure that I would be a great boyfriend to his daughter. And another time, like 15 years later, outside of a bar, sipping a sidecar and him letting me know how he would never let his daughter walk around like that. Shout out Face. Shout out the Ghetto Boys. You know some Scarface songs.
No way.
You do.
There's no chance, because I still didn't know who Scarface. I thought you were talking about the actor who plays Scarface.
I figured. Tony Montana? Who's that actor? Who's that?
Yeah, I don't know. Huh. I don't know enough about that, so I assumed it was that.
Who presented our cocktail of the day, Tina?
Well, if you have a sidecar.
Oh, car.
See, that's it. See,
car.
He was on his game in the first hour with transitions seamlessly, and now he's off it because that was lobbed up for you.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
spike it home, Tina.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, I don't know if St. Lucie Battery and Tire is in Paris. But they should be, because everyone knows how annoying car trouble can be if it's a flat tire or a dead battery. That's just the absolute worst. You never want to have to deal with that. And that's why I always go to St. Lucie Battery and Tire. They've been around for over 50 years and are still family owned. They've got all the big tire brands. And if your battery dies, they've got one for pretty much everything. From cars, trucks, boats, RVs, and even commercial fleets. While you're gone, we're trying to get them as well into bike tires, if you heard that whole story.
Let's do it.
For Colin. Plus, they have this best price out the door guarantee, so you know you're not overpaying. If you ever get stuck, they have 24/7 roadside emergency service. Next time your car needs something, go to St. Lucie Battery and Tire or check them out at slbt.com.
I think I know a song that you might know, C-Cat.
Yeah.
See, I don't think you would know Smile. You might know I Seen a Man Die, but Mind Playing Tricks on Me, at the very least, if you don't know the song, you know the instrumental. You know the music behind it. So if you...
Has it been sampled in like frequent stuff recently?
Yes. If you just search it. Just search it on YouTube. Maybe we can get the instrumental going. Mind Playing Tricks on Me, Ghetto Boys. Geto Boys. Then we can get that thing going. Bushwick Bill. Willie, no, okay.
Nope, no.
Right. It's all good. I knew my audience before.
Send me them after the show.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
I'll take a listen.
I'm curious as to Mike Rizzo listens to a little rap and hip hop. I wonder if he knows anything about the Ghetto Boys, Scarface, Bushwick, Willie D. Nothing.
No, you can be making up stuff and I wouldn't know right now. That's what's fun.
Yeah. Razzle dazzle. No,
so my mind is playing tricks on me. The instrumental from Ghetto Boys.
Yeah, do that.
This is what you're asking for. This
not
means
ringing a bell?
Yeah,
Are you serious?
Nothing.
Is this like when the credits are rolling at the end of a movie?
Wow.
That's what I got right now.
Okay. Have you heard this?
This means you thought this was the number one contender in terms of songs or instrumentals I might have never heard before?
I really did. I think it should be. I think it should be.
Oh, so we're in bad shape then.
Yeah. So you can cut it. On My Block. All right. Go to On My Block. On My Block next. Didn't
you play some of that on here?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I'm tripping. That's Scarface. I'm tripping.
This is Scarface?
Oh, really?
All right, I know.
I only know this from Theoretically Speaking.
That's where it's going to be referenced on another radio show.
I don't know why you think about that. We literally play My Block 20 times a day on this show. This is Space.
So what's this song about, Theo?
He's telling you how it goes down on his block. On my block.
So it's not about air conditioning. It's not about if I have foot or ankle pain.
Block.
There's like other lyrics to this song.
Yeah, I can't say a lot of the words.
At the very least, it might be about a national champion on the tennis courts.
Oh, wow.
At the very bottom of that piece of paper that you're looking at. That's the one we want to talk about.
Another championship from the KU Seahawks?
Kaiser won national championships on both weekends you were gone.
What the heck are they doing? I can't keep up. So what's the counter at? What number are we at for NAIA national championships from the Kaiser Seahawks?
Saquon Barkley.
26. 26 and counting. The Kaiser Seahawks are all about championships in the classroom and also on the tennis courts, as CCAT just let you know. For the first time ever, the men's tennis team are national champions. Congrats to Coach Robert McAdoo and the Seahawks tennis squad. They won their first ever NAIA title. They beat Georgia Gwinnett, who had no chance. Even though Georgia Gwinnett had won the previous 10 national championships, so they probably had a better chance than what I alluded to. Tennis team gets the red banner. Comes right on the heels of the lacrosse team winning their third straight title. Kaiser's now won 26 national titles. I think this number might be low. I think it might be 27 now, CCAT.
Really?
Swimming and diving won.
Whoa.
So it might be 27 or 28. We got to get an updated one. We'll hit up Swagger.
Is this like the Statue of David fact check?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I've been gone. Plus, they got more than 70 conference championships as well. KUSeahawks.com. That's how you stay up to date with all things Kaiser University athletics. KUSeahawks.com. They stay winning. They stay winning and defending the beach. That's their hashtag, Tina. Their hashtag is Defend the Beach. I like it.
I like it.
Because it's like West Palm Beach, defend the beach.
Yeah.
It's like their
Beach is
thing.
right down the corner.
Right there. You know, walking distance. Europe was fun. And I am also still excited about these NBA playoffs, though they seem like they might be close to being over. Tina, question for you.
Okay.
If you had to pick any one person out of this office to take a trip over the pond with, who is somebody that you think would be interesting? Who is somebody you think that you would be able to enjoy nights out, getting grub, kicking it with out of this office here at ESPN West Palm? And if the answer's none, then you can say none. You're on the spot, though.
I know, I'm on the spot.
Hold on, CK. Where's our...
No, you're not going to say it's not in this office. You got to pick someone who's on the air.
Someone on the air?
Somebody on the air. Yeah, you're right. That would help the audience a little bit more. That'll help the fans.
I'd probably take you, Teddy.
Yeah.
I would take you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Whoa. And there is someone that's on the air that thinks that they are a shoo-in for that right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
I have I have a number two.
Who's your number two?
It'd probably be Colin.
Okay, so the real question is, if you were doing this question and Colin asked it on Russo and Rizzo, would you have just said Colin?
No.
You would have said me still?
Yeah.
Because I got the camera, huh? That's why. She just wants the camera.
Like Theo. Well, Theo is great. Yes, at recording everything, like taking pictures. You're also like a fun time. You like to explore, like you like adventures, but you're also like chill. Like you can chill also at times and like not be crazy. I feel like we could dive like best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Like relaxing, but then we go like crazy one night.
Yes. See, I enjoy. You know what? I appreciate that, Tina, and I'm rocking with it. C-Cat, same question for you.
If I were to pick anyone
on the air, though, you made the parameters.
I actually appreciate you having me pick from talent.
Yeah,
because
that helps.
I think I would have upset people in the office.
It helped you, huh? Yeah, you're right. It would have made it harder to
Yeah.
choose. That was a good job. C-Cat protected you there.
Like, Nancy. The worst was like, who is Nancy? No one knows.
Yeah,
okay.
no one knows.
I'd probably go Colin Russo. The guy like backpacks around countries and stuff, and I feel like I am intimidated by going overseas. I did it once, did it with my girlfriend, and she took the reins and all that type of planning, where I kind of need a steady force there that's got answers to my questions.
You'd rather somebody kind of guide you around it instead of trying to like figure it out here and there.
You know what? You know what also about Teddy is that I will text Theo for even like Teddy would make sure that I'm looking like Perry.
Hell
like
yeah.
I'm with the fashion and everything like that.
We're going to have it step
like,
down.
It'll be so fun.
Dog, we would kick it, dog. Perry.
It'd be Theo.
And we'll do some TikToks.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what C-Cat wouldn't want to go with me because he knows you know what? I probably would be last on C-Cat's list because he knows I would be trying to take too many pictures or do too many little videos.
What are you talking about? I need to do a boomerang.
Yeah. We can't leave here until.
Wait, you already took a sip of your drink? What are you doing? You took a bite? We need a picture.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, it was so embarrassing the amount of times me and Ashley were pulling out the phone or the camera, taking pictures, videos, documenting things there. But at a certain point, you just have to be callous to it and be like, hey, look, first of all, I spent a lot of money on these flights in this stay. So I'm going to document, enjoy this, and have some memories created from it. So I'm going to turn a blind eye to any people side-eyeing us. Also, the stuff came out looking so good. We had bought this new camera, and the everything was so crisp and nice. I was so appreciative of the art we were creating.
Yes.
I wanted more.
I will say they're definitely – I am on the too far on my side. I'm too extreme anti-picture.
You got to get off of that.
Yeah.
Because I end up just not having pictures of anything. And then, That's it. I have nothing to remember it by.
And what I'll say is, I don't like when people are too far on the other end of the spectrum, right, where they're documenting way too much and they're going too aggressive. There is a balance you have to have naturally, but I think it's worse to be on that side of it because I do think that there's things you're going to want to recall and remember and bring in some nostalgic moments. And like, if I did sometimes I'll go back on Facebook and I'm like, oh, I forgot I even did that. My trip to Japan. I did a long trip to Japan when I was in college, like 9 or 10 days, the study trip, journalistic trip. It was all, expenses paid. So I ain't got no receipts from it. All I have is those pictures that jog my memory of the great times I had out on the Tokyo Bay and going to Hiroshima and all. Like, it was a great time, and I'm glad I have pictures and videos.
Yeah, but when I see these sporting events and specifically concerts, put your phones down.
That's different.
Concerts are different.
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, it's more invasive, and there are more people with their phones out recording every song there when that's a situation I think is even less important to do that.
I feel like now that I've just experienced, like I'll look back at videos, like all I hear is my terrible singing.
Yeah.
And I should have been way more in the moment of singing the song than recording this, like what was happening.
There's no point.
Yeah.
I went to this one concert in L.A. with my pops. My wife was there as well. It was a dope little concert. It was like there were performers that were performing, I think, cover artists, pretty much. And there was a woman in front of me, older lady, like probably in her 50s or so, who literally had a shaky Android phone right in front of me, the seats in front of me, and the whole concert, she's like this. The video started at the beginning of the concert. I don't think it ended until the end. It was like a 2-hour video, shaky as hell, bad. Like, it wasn't like it was very highly pixelated. And all I could keep thinking is, what the hell are you going to do with that video?
Go on.
You sure wish it was on live?
Yeah.
It
was not live. It was a recording. I can tell. I can see it right clearly in front of me. It was like the button was impressed. And I lied. It was multiple videos, but they were both like 40 plus, 50 plus minutes. Like, you could see the time ticker ticking up on it. And I kept thinking, like, the file is too big for you to do anything with. It's shaky as hell. You're holding it vertically. So it's not like you're selling this to anybody or anything. Like, what are you actually? Are you going to relive this every night before you go to sleep? Doesn't make any sense.
And now I think of iconic sports moments. Do you like when on those still shots or slow-mo shots of buzzer beaters where you just see a bunch of phones in the crowd? Or if you go back to like the early 2000s to like Yankee games, World Series games, you'll see a 3-2 pitch to Derek Jeter and you see the camera flashes. It kind of looks cool.
Yeah.
But in the modern era where no one's taking a direct picture on the disposable Nikons, I don't know which I prefer. I think it's nostalgia, liking the camera flashes in big sporting moments, like the shot on Elo from Michael Jordan. You see the flashes. It's cool.
Yeah.
But this being attached to our device to worry about capturing a moment, it's always been there. It's showing its ugly face with our mobile phones now.
See, it's easier now.
I love the picture of the Masters where everyone is so focused on like an in the moment of what's going on.
Right, and they have no other option.
And they have no option but to be, they can't have their phone out. Like just this past year, I was like, that is just, I wish I could be that person. And I wish like we all could do that. But then again, I'm like, no, we all want to get the moment and be able to post it on our own pages and social media that we were there.
A couple of years ago, when Tiger was still competing for the big events, it was one of the majors that's not the Masters. It was one of the PGA Championship or the U.S. Open. It definitely wasn't overseas. But there was a still image, a picture taken of Tiger Woods taking a swing from the rough. So he's surrounded by spectators, surrounded by fans, and every single fan had their phone out recording, who many consider to be the greatest golfer of all time, except for one guy. And that one guy sat there, hands pretty much at his waist, holding a Bud Light and just smiling, enjoying the golf. And like Bud Light got him an endorsement or something.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, because that picture was so cool. Because everyone else was worried about capturing the moment on their phone, except for that one dude who was just drinking beer and enjoying Tiger Woods right in front of him.
My rule of thumb with this at sporting events and at concerts, right, is I'm okay with you pulling out your phone and recording either big moment plays or your favorite song, a bit of it, not all of it, but some of it, you dancing to it. But there needs to be a give and take. I just don't like people that are trying to record the whole damn thing like they are the broadcast team for ESPN or they are like whoever is doing the live streaming for these concerts. Take a little bit, capture a moment or two, put your phone back in your pocket, be present. That's the way to do it. So
I have been to a few weddings this year, and I love the weddings where during the ceremony it's like a no phone, like no phones
zone,
out.
yeah.
And they give like an opportunity for if you do want to take a picture, they're like, everyone can take their phones out now,
Right now.
to take a picture
Yep.
and whatnot. But it bothers me so much when you do see those professional photos come back and there are so many people
Yeah.
that have their phones out, and it just, I'm like, if you wouldn't want that.
No.
When you're getting married and you see those pictures, like, you wouldn't want people like, yes, they love the picture, they want to post it, they're there for you, they love you, they're congratulating you on their Instagram, Facebook, whatnot. But when you see the professional pictures and like it's the view, it's like people with their phones out, it bothers me so much.
Like, what's the point of paying for a professional photographer
Yeah.
if everyone's their own professional photographer?
Yeah.
If you want to keep something sacred, you want these still images to live inside this world where everything looks perfect and retouched from that editor and whatnot.
Like, I was watching people record the bride come down the aisle,
That's
and I was
tough.
like, I want to be like, stop
Stop
put
it.
your phone away, please.
Slap it out of their hands next
Especially not if you're on one of the edge aisle seats.
Oh, and yes, and they
that's
were.
the worst place to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're ruining. You
You
are
know
being
better.
selfish. You're ruining her moment.
Phone at the waist, like trying to and
Trying to
pivoting.
sneak it. Yeah, just relax, bro.
Yes.
Like, just come on. Like, get a picture of them when they're both at the altar, maybe, and there won't be cameras on you. That you sneak a couple. Then be respectful. Unless they do say no phone zone, then just keep the damn thing in your pocket. I'd agree. We had the same thing at my wedding a year and some change ago, where we had a phones away moment. We had the person that was mastering our wedding, Uncle Steve, the real Uncle Steve for me, told everybody to put their phones away. So I think that you should do that. And the same thing happened at the wedding I went to in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a better way to do it. And at games, I get it, though. Like, if the game is on the line and you know it's the last second shot, there's no way you're going to, like, convince fans to not record that on their phone.
Yeah.
But isn't it a better experience if you are the person in the building
know.
to experience it
I hear you.
uninhibited? Not through your 6-inch screen, but just as a human being with your eyes and your ears? That seems like a better experience.
Jalen in the chat says I had some rule violators at my wedding. Jalen, after the show, I'm going to call you. You let me know who it was, and I'm going to be sending them an invoice. 4 our photographers and videographers they can pay them, because I'm sure they had to edit out the phone or something like that, because I ain't seen none. No, you're right. It's better for you to just take in the moment, but I got to be honest. Like, sometimes you get that itch. You're like, oh my gosh.
People got to know that I'm experiencing
Not even that I'm
this.
experiencing it, but like, you want to like I ain't gonna lie. If I was there for Game 6, Jazz versus Bulls, 1998, knowing this might be this last dance, this is it for Jordan, and he's going up against Russell up approaching that left elbow.
Phone up.
I'm right here. I'm like, yo, hey, this is going right to my Instagram story after this.
You're going live on Facebook with the right hand on the hip, left hand on the phone.
Look, and then I got to caption it as they're getting crowned.
Oh my God.
That was not a push off, bro. Like, clean step back from MJ there. He's the GOAT. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm a bit of a hypocrite in that way, because I think for but just doing it the whole moment, the whole game and stuff is different.
Then you might as well have not been at the game.
Yeah, it's stupid. When we were in Florence, actually, there was a this is indicative of this, and I do think that the imagery we get around sports where everybody's on their phone recording is telling and indicative of our times. Like, what's the number one issue people have with their kids? Screen time, right? Like, what's one of the number one issues with drivers on the road? Being distracted, being on your phones. It is literally, it's telling of our times. 300 years from now, when they look back on this era, it's going to be defined by how much time we spend on our phones. So it makes sense that it gets encapsulated in our sports moments. There was a temporary statue that was erected in Florence, in the city center there, in this massive place where there's a lot of different statues. They put it right in the middle. It was golden, and it was of what seemed to be like a teenaged Italian girl. Behind her, all of these like massive monuments and statues and replicas and all of this great art and scenery and everything, like the stuff that people come to Florence to see. But the statue depicted her literally with her back to all of the great stuff on her phone, texting. And I think what the artist was trying to depict there, and again, this is temporary, I'm not sure if it's still there now, it was there the week I was there, what the artist was trying to depict there is literally capturing what we're doing in this current day and time. That is the modern, not even just American, but like people in Italy, people in Europe in general, in Asia. I think we all are just so attached to the phones, and it's our sports moments aren't being ruined by having people on their phones like this. It's more so being captured in the natural way that we live.
You got to share this moment with everybody else.
It's what it is now. It's what we do. Speaking of, got a lot of posts from from my honeymoon / anniversary / wedding trip.
I feel like
that
I
will be
haven't
getting
seen
up.
even half of it.
I know. I stayed behind the camera for a lot just because my wife is like much more appealing to the eye than I am. You know, I want to make sure I got her in most of them. I'm like, hey, stand right there. I feel like a dad on a trip with his daughter. Like, hey, stand right there. Boom, boom, boom. Stand right there. I'm in some of it. I'll get some posts up soon.
So, like, did people take pictures for you, like a random bystander? Hey, could you get a picture of us?
Here and there, we were able to do that. I didn't get too many random bystanders. Generally, I try to either have it be a tour guide or somebody in a store with us that works for the store. It needs to be some kind of official because I don't know if y'all have heard, but especially in Paris, big pickpocket place. Like, they're known for pickpocketing. My time around the Eiffel Tower was actually very sketchy and weird because it was, like, fluid with pickpocketers and sketchy folks that was trying to, barter with me and whatnot. I hated it.
My favorite move when someone asks me to take a picture, you got to flip the camera around, selfie, tongue
Gotta get
out.
one, yeah.
Got to get one of those in before you do the pictures for them.
Yeah.
That's a
Do
non-negotiable.
you actually still do it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you thought that was like a trend that passed?
I did it like when I...
No,
done
it's
it.
still alive and well, my friend.
You're still doing it.
I did it last weekend. Graduation dinner, taking a picture of my girlfriend's dad and his wife. Yeah, bang. First one's got to be in me.
Wow.
A little treat when you look at these pictures tomorrow.
A little treat, a little CCAT treat.
Easter egg.
Appreciate that. I wonder what they do with those selfies. I wonder if they like add it into their little their photo dump. This is CCAT. He took a selfie for us. The Baptist Health Hotline, you know what number it is, 888-760-3776. Tap into the show at any time. Join the fun. Join the friends, the fam, here on Theoretically Speaking on the Baptist Health Hotline at any time, 888-760-3776. The Baptist Health Hotline is joint pain affecting your quality of life. At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery as well as new, less invasive treatments with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more about visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more about visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. More here on Theoretically Speaking, 100 days out from the kickoff of the National Football League. Yeah, we're wrapping up the NBA Finals. That is the paramount story, but the NFL starting to be right around the corner. My favorite headline, the most compelling one, the epiphany. I call it a European epiphany I had that came to me about this upcoming NFL season. I share with you here on the other side. That's CCAT. That's Tina. I'm Theo Dorsey. I'm back, baby. Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
ESPN West Palm is highlighting the best performance of the week, presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Every week, a different team will be featured across ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. The winning performance receives $500, courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Do you know a team, player, or school with a killer performance? Nominate them by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Don't let the rising temperatures catch you off guard. Hey, it's Colin Russo, and since 1960, John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing has proudly served Palm Beach County, keeping homes cool and comfortable. Now's the time to upgrade your AC with great financing options. Plus, ask about the Cassidy Care Club, providing year-round peace of mind. Cassidy is part of our local community and supports organizations like the YMCA and the Palm Beach Gardens Youth Athletic Association. Keep cool with Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Find out more at CassidyAC.com.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
As market dynamics change, the quality of service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Anshin Accountants and Advisors take the time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver where others can't. Visit anchin.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, recalculating what's possible.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, proud partner of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 24 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and Men's Lacrosse title. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Pacers hosting the Knicks tonight. 8 o'clock tip-off on TNT. Indiana up 2-1. Looking to take a commanding 3-1 lead. And in the house, in the field house, if you will, tonight, will not just be those Pacers and those Knicks, but also the return of John Halliburton.
Yeah.
Pops is coming back. Ain't that something?
And you remember this, right?
How did this happen? How was he able to come back?
I don't know, but I do think the suspension for the rest of the playoffs is a little bit harsh.
That's kind of a, let's just and use that word indefinitely for a reason. It gives you so much wiggle room to do whatever you want with it. But if for our fans, if you recall, when the Pacers beat the Bucks, I believe it was in 5 games.
Yep, 4-1.
Once that final buzzer sounded, Tyrese Halliburton jumps on the scorer's table, I believe, and celebrate with the crowd like he's Dwayne Wade. And then Tyrese Halliburton's dad, who's very well known apparently around around that media circle. I didn't realize he had a reputation already, not a negative one. Just people knew who he was.
They love him. That's the thing.
Like, he is a very proud father for what Tyrese has been doing. Not the finest moment for John Halliburton, where he took his flag, I believe, or his rally towel, and just shook it in Giannis's face, taunting him when the Bucks were just eliminated from the NBA playoffs. And it was a sore look for Pops.
It was. It was a bad look for him. To his credit, he was apologetic about it. And whenever anybody comes out and apologizes, I know people are kind of trying to clown Ryan Clark for that as well these days. Whenever somebody is man enough or woman enough to apologize for something that they can admit they did wrong in 2025, I have to just give them a little bit of credit. It's deserved.
I don't know, man.
Because there's a lot of people that are unwilling to, in moments where they are just absolutely wrong, or moments in which they are clearly on the wrong side of it, that they don't apologize. They stay 10 toes down. They dig their feet in because we're in an era where facts don't matter as much anymore. You're able to just say, nah, I know I was on tape doing it, but that wasn't me. I ain't do it.
Yeah, but I also feel like on the flip side of things, there are a lot of apologize that are lawyer written and you hit send on the post where you don't mean it. You're doing it because you have to and to get by this week because you're expected to, not because you are truly apologetic.
Sometimes, but John, who I saw him do some interviews and talk about it, seems like he was apologetic actually and it came from the heart. And I can't always judge somebody's intentions. Like only you and God know that. But I can at least judge your actions based on what I saw. And he was very exuberant. I mean, let's not forget the situation here for John Halliburton, Tyrese's pops. And I'll get to my number one NFL headline right quick here in the happy hour. I know I talked about it. I want to get to it. The Pacers were down 7 with 40 seconds to go in a closeout game at home. It was a lot of trash talking, a lot of emotions, a lot of stuff all throughout, and they came back and won that game in one of the more thrilling fashions I have seen in the playoffs, and it was for like the second or third time this postseason they did it. It was crazy. On top of that, CCAT, you, I, and Tina, we did a draft of champions. We drafted before the NBA playoffs tipped off. We gave ourselves each 4 teams. There's only 16 in the NBA playoffs. We each gave ourselves 4 picks in a draft to see who would win the title. Let me read off the teams that we picked. Tina went first. She picked the Cavs. I went second. I got the Thunder. They're still in it. C-Cat, you went with the Celtics. Back to Tina. She gets the Bucks. I get the Warriors. C-Cat gets the Lakers. Back to Tina. She gets the Rockets. I get the Nuggets. C-Cat, you got the Knicks. Tina gets the Pistons. I got the Clippers. C-Cat, you got the Wolves. Now, out of the 3 of us, there's only 3 teams remaining. I got the Thunder remaining. C-Cat, you got the Knicks and the Timberwolves. Nobody picked the Pacers. We had 12 options. We left them in the bottom 4 with the damn Magic, the Heat, and the Grizzlies. And now they are 1 or 2 wins away from the NBA Finals, and nobody thought they can get through even the Bucks, even at half strength. And John Halliburton was reacting based on the moment. We just have to keep context in this.
Well,
12 out of 16, nobody picked the Pacers.
John Halliburton should be allowed in the building, not on the court side.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
Sure.
I don't know the situation. Is that going to be the case?
Did I see it's like going in a suite?
Okay, keep him away.
Yep, here it is.
Yeah.
The ban has been lifted starting with Game 4 against the Knicks, and confirmed with other reports. Broken by ESPN's Shams Charania. The elder Halliburton will be in a suite rather than courtside, as he has traditionally been. I think even if they didn't lift the ban, the Pacers would have found a way to sneak him in and have him in a suite and just keep it on the low.
But didn't the Pacers levy the suspension so they can do whatever they want with it?
Technically, exactly. So I thought it was from the NBA. It probably was like,
hey, listen.
NBA, they did it so the NBA wouldn't.
Something.
Yeah. Like, NBA was like, hey, look, take care of that. And they did. Yeah. And I think this is the proper protocol.
But that situation is similar to thousands of occurrences across AAU gyms or Little League baseball fields where the parents get a little bit too over-enthusiastic, and this so happened to happen at the NBA playoffs. I think it's fair to say that those parents that taunted one of their kids on the court afterwards will not be invited back that season. Maybe they get talking to in the offseason, and then they are back for the following year. But just because Tyrese Halliburton's playing well doesn't mean his dad should now be allowed to be at the game.
Time served. It's been a while.
We were saying like we don't want to rob this father of this memory he could have because of a mistake he made 2 weeks ago.
Let's keep it G. Like no punches were thrown. Nothing broke. He did break a line of respect towards Giannis, but Giannis even afterwards said we came to a good place in the end. No hard feelings in the aftermath. And he doesn't have a track history. He's not Draymond Green.
Yeah,
he's not LeVar Ball.
But also, if you or I did that, we get tackled and tased.
True.
And we'd be spending a night behind bars.
True. It's different. I mean, it's different rules, different strokes for different folks. Do we have time for a last call? I want to give my NFL headline. I'll give that on the other side. Do we have a last call, team?
Yes.
We do have a last call. This last call is brought to you by F45, by the way. Before you give the last call, F45, I know you've been in it. I've been gone 2 weeks. I know you've been in that gym, though.
Yesterday, I went to F45, and we did the Murph workout, which I don't know if you're familiar with that, for Memorial Day. You start off with a mile run, and you do then a total of 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 air squats.
Wow.
And then you end it with a mile run. The first time I ever did that, extremely tough. I did it with a huge group of people, and I could not have done that by myself. Like, the people that were around me at F45 Palm Beach Gardens, they motivated me, they kept me going, they were rooting for me. We were all struggling to get through it together, but as we're doing that last mile run, we're cheering each other on like, you got this, we're so close. What a great community at F45 Palm Beach Gardens.
Hey, sign me up for the next Murph. I want in on that.
Next year, okay.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning, and as I open my eyes, I go, oh my gosh, I can't feel my shoulders. I can't lift my arms. So I'm a little sore today. But that's why I go. I love going to F45 because I know when I'm sore that I'm working muscles that maybe I'm going heavier. Maybe I'm, working a different muscle that I haven't yet. And I am just feeling great. It's a 45-minute workout. You're in, you're out. You stick with it. And I promise you will see results. F45 Palm Beach Gardens. Check out their Instagram page to see the summer specials that they've got going on. Go to F45training.com to find a location near you.
The last call from Tina here on the Happy Hour, Theoretically Speaking. What you got?
The Florida Panthers head coach said this yesterday.
Uh-oh.
You're going to fill in the last 3 words of this quote.
They lost that game.
They did lose. I was extremely upset. That was a terrible game.
Hey, 3-1. I'll be all right.
Sometimes you say a prayer. Sometimes you shotgun a beer. That's kind of
the way it
what life's like.
The way
No.
that's kind of how it goes.
No.
What were the last couple of words before the blanks again?
It's kind of
How it goes.
no.
Life in a nutshell.
That's kind of
life in hockey.
No.
South Florida hockey.
You guys are like close, but not really.
Life.
No life.
Okay.
There's no life.
Is hockey in it?
No.
That's kind of sports.
Way it is type deal.
Let me tell you.
What is it? Yeah.
Like our team, the Florida Panthers.
Oh.
Sometimes you say a prayer. Sometimes you shotgun a beer. That's kind of like our team. It's kind of the Florida Panthers.
Yeah. Did y'all? You were at the game, right?
No, I did not go yesterday.
Okay.
I've been very upset.
Yeah. It was sad, but they can stop. I mean, come on. You know
Saturday's
what I think?
game was insane.
I think
Wish I was there.
when the Panthers oust the Hurricanes, they should be able to change their name, which is weird because it's like Carolina Hurricanes.
The Hurricane will wipe out another South Florida establishment.
Panthers. No, I'm saying the Florida Panthers should be able to force them to change their name from Hurricanes. Maybe they trade names. We could be the Florida Hurricanes. They could be the Carolina Panthers.
I never thought about the Panthers in Carolina like in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's
I did.
That's an astute observation, Theo.
I don't think about my ex either.
Oh.
Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or BradleyAir.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
So let it rip.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
My NFL take, and I'll get more into it later this week, is that Shedeur Sanders is actually in the perfect environment and situation to succeed past our expectations. I had an epiphany whilst in Europe that it is extremely locked in and perfect. I'll give y'all more information on that later this week. Many of shows to come here on Theoretically Speaking. But it's not a hot take, but it is getting hot out here in South Florida. So I have to ask you this question. Is your air or water flowing perfectly in your home? Because the answer could be no for you. And if the answer is no, EDS is yes. Is there a home or a room in your home that's always too hot or freezing cold? Are you running out of hot water when you need it most? If the answer is no to that question, you need to know that EDS is yes. EDSisyes.com. They are Palm Beach County's trusted AC and plumbing expert. They will make sure your air and water flow perfectly. I've been talking with my guy, Randy, who is generally the technician that services my home. We talk NBA all the time. We talk Florida sports, Miami Hurricanes. He thinks the Timberwolves are dead. Randy, I'll tell you right now, and I'll text you after the show. I disagree. T-Wolves might get it back. EDSisyes.com. Lock in with the good people. They can help you out. Last thing, tonight, Knicks Pacers. Pacers go up 3-1. Letting you know now. Go in love, go in peace, go in joy. While it's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan is here to help. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those